If you have ever lain in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, staring at the ceiling, calculating exactly how many hours of sleep you will get if you fall asleep right now, you know the panic. You try to force your eyes shut. You try to force your brain to power down. But the harder you try, the more awake you feel. If you are living with bipolar disorder, sleep is not just a biological function. It is the primary dashboard of your health. When sleep wobbles, mood wobbles. But here is the mistake almost everyone makes. They try to fix their sleep by focusing on their bedtime. In this video, I am going to teach you the #1 bipolar sleep rule. It is counterintuitive. It goes against what your instincts tell you to do, but it is backed by the science of circadian rhythms. The rule is, wake time wins. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to set a wake anchor, how to build a wind-down slope so you don't crash into the evening, and how to create if-then guardrails for when life gets messy. By the end, you will have a 5-day experiment you can start tomorrow morning to steady the boat. I'm Clara, your guide at Bipolar Clarity. Let's take a deep breath and make this simple. Before we dive into the biology, I need to remind you that I am a passionate educator, not a doctor. This video is for educational purposes and is not medical advice. Always consult with your local healthcare professionals for your specific needs. To understand why wake time wins, we have to look at the engine of bipolar disorder. At its core, bipolar disorder is often described as a circadian rhythm condition. You have a master clock in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. In a neurotypical brain, this clock is pretty sturdy. It knows when to release cortisol to wake you up and when to release melatonin to put you to sleep. In a bipolar brain, this clock is sensitive. It is like a high-performance sports car engine. It is powerful, but if the timing belt is off by even a fraction, the whole engine starts to knock. Therapies designed specifically for this, like interpersonal and social rhythm therapy, are built on one premise. If you steady the rhythm, you steady the mood. So why doesn't forcing bedtime work? Because of a concept called sleep effort. When you lay in bed trying to force yourself to sleep, your brain registers the bed as a place of struggle and anxiety. You release adrenaline. Adrenaline is the enemy of sleep. You cannot brake a car by screaming at it. You have to take your foot off the gas. The only thing you actually have control over is when you start the engine in the morning. This brings us to step 1, the wake anchor. Your brain has a timer. That timer does not start when you fall asleep. It starts the moment light hits your eyes in the morning. When you wake up and see light, a 16-hour timer begins. When that timer runs out, your brain naturally releases melatonin. If you wake up at 7 o'clock on Monday, your timer is set. But if you have a rough night and sleep until 11 o'clock on Tuesday to catch up, you have just shifted your timer by 4 hours. You have given yourself jet lag without leaving your house. Here is the rule. Choose one wake anchor time. This needs to be a time you can realistically hit 7 days a week. Yes, even on weekends. If you pick 8 o'clock, that is your anchor. If you sleep well, you get up at 8. If you sleep terribly and only get 2 hours, you still get up at 8. I know that sounds harsh, but the goal is to create sleep pressure for the next night. If you nap or sleep in, you release that pressure, and you will be staring at the ceiling again the next night. You have to take the hit for 1 day to save the pattern for the week. Here is the practical how-to for your wake anchor. Place your alarm across the room. Do not keep it next to the bed. You need to physically stand up to turn it off. Once you are standing, do not get back in bed. Go immediately to a window, open the blinds. If it is dark outside, turn on the brightest light in your house. You need photons on the retina. This is the biological signal that tells your conductor to start the orchestra. Now, let's talk about the other end of the day. If the morning is the anchor, the evening is the slope. Imagine you are a pilot landing a 747. You do not fly at 30,000 feet until you are directly over the airport and then dive bomb the runway. You start your descent hundreds of miles away. Your brain is the same. You cannot go from a high-stimulation environment, work emails, arguments, bright screens, straight to sleep. You need a descent. We are going to institute a digital sunset. About 60 minutes before your target sleep time, the sun goes down in your house. Dim the overhead lights. Switch to table lamps. And here is the hardest part. Put the phone away. Blue light from screens mimics daylight. It tricks your sensitive clock into thinking it is noon. Instead of scrolling, you need low stimulation inputs. This is not about being productive. This is about being boring. Read a fiction book that you have already read before, so there are no surprises. Listen to a podcast with a calm host. Stretch your hamstrings. Take a warm shower. The drop in body temperature after a shower mimics the drop in temperature that happens when you fall asleep. Let's do a quick myth check here. Myth: I can catch up on sleep on the weekends. Reality: this is called social jet lag. When you sleep in on Saturday and Sunday, you push your clock back. Then on Monday morning, asking your body to wake up early is biologically the same as flying from London to New York. It triggers a stress response, which can trigger an episode. Consistency beats quantity. 5 decent nights are better than 3 bad ones and 2 comas. Now, we need to talk about guardrails, because life happens. This is step 3, the if-then plan. Bipolar disorder loves routine, but life loves chaos. You will travel, you will have late nights, you will get sick. You need a plan for the disruption before it happens. Disruption number 1. Travel. If you are crossing time zones, your clock is vulnerable. The plan: as soon as you land, get on local time. If it is daytime, stay awake. Get outside, get light. If it is nighttime, make the room pitch black. Do not nap. Disruption number 2, the good stress. Sometimes the disruption is fun, a wedding, a party, a late concert. The plan: if you stay up late, give yourself a buffer zone the next day. Do not schedule a high-stress meeting for the morning after a concert. But, and this is key, do not sleep in more than 1 hour past your anchor. Wake up, get your light, and if you are exhausted, take a 20-minute nap, no longer, before 3 p.m. Disruption number 3, social pressure. People will want you to stay out late. They will say, "Come on, don't be boring." Here is a script you can use. You don't have to say, "I have bipolar disorder and I need to sleep." You can say, "I am working on a strict fitness protocol right now, and my sleep anchor is non-negotiable. I have to head out, but I love seeing you." People respect protocols. It sounds disciplined, not fragile. I want to pivot to a very serious topic. Red flags. Sleep is often the first domino to fall before a mood episode. If you notice that your sleep is shrinking, you are sleeping 4 hours, then 3 hours, but you do not feel tired, that is a medical red flag. This is not insomnia. Insomnia is wanting to sleep but being unable to. This is a decreased need for sleep. This is the hallmark sign of hypomania or mania. If you see this pattern for 2 nights in a row, you need to enact your emergency protocol. This means dark therapy, lights out early, no caffeine, no alcohol, and call your doctor. Do not wait for night 3. On the flip side, let's talk about depression. When the mood is low, the bed feels like a magnet. This is called clinophilia, the love of the bed. The depression will tell you, if you just rest a little longer, you will feel better. That is a lie. Prolonged time in bed often deepens the depression. It is called psychomotor retardation, the slowing down of thought and movement. In this state, the wake anchor is your lifeline. It is the only thing stopping you from sliding completely into the fog. Even if you just move from the bed to the couch, that is a victory. You have broken the gravitational pull. I also want to address mixed features. Sometimes you might feel exhausted and wired at the same time. You are tired, but your thoughts are racing. This is a dangerous state because the agitation is high. If you are in this state and you start having thoughts of hopelessness or thoughts that life is not worth living, please treat this as a medical emergency. In the US and Canada, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Sleep deprivation makes these thoughts louder. You deserve support to get through the night. So, how do we apply this to your actual life, specifically with a partner? It can be hard if your partner loves to sleep in and you have to get up. Sit down with them and say, I am learning that my wake time is like my medication. It is non-negotiable for my health. When my alarm goes off at 8 a.m., I am going to get up. I would love it if you could support that by opening the curtains, or at least not asking me to come back to bed for a cuddle. I need to get my feet on the floor. Make them part of the team. Let's review the Wake Time Wins toolkit. 1. Set the anchor. Pick one time. Stick to it 7 days a week. 2. The 10-minute rule. Feet on the floor and light in the eyes within 10 minutes of the alarm. 3. The digital sunset. Dim the lights and hide the screen 60 minutes before bed. 4. The guardrails. If you stay up late, do not sleep in. Take the hit, protect the pattern. Here is your experiment for this week. It is just 5 days. I want you to pick your time. Write it on a sticky note. Put it on your bathroom mirror. 7:30 for the next 5 days, hit that time. You might feel tired the first 2 days. That is okay. That is just sleep pressure building up. By day 4 or 5, pay attention to when you naturally start to feel sleepy in the evening. You might notice your body asking for rest at a reasonable time. That is your circadian rhythm coming back online. You do not have to fix your whole life today. You just have to fix tomorrow morning. When you control the morning, you stop being a victim of the night. We know consistency is the hardest part. If you want a weekly, gentle nudge to remind you of your wake anchor and the one small step to steady your mood, join our free email community. It's designed to be a calm metronome for your week. You can find the link in the description below. If this video helped change your perspective on sleep, please subscribe. We are building a library of practical, plain English tools to help you navigate this life. For your next step, I highly recommend watching the video appearing on your screen right now. It is called Just Diagnosed. Here's your 24-hour plan. It expands on how to build a low-stimulation evening routine to support the sleep anchor we just built. Thanks for watching, and remember, wake time wins.